Draftsmas Eve, everybody, at least for the next 10 minutes, depending on your time zone. We are just a mere handful of hours away until the NFL draft, and no one is excited as me. You can say you are, but I'm going to have to say that you're not as excited as this guy. I've been looking at mock drafts. Hit the capture button, by the way, so I can capture this whole stream. But what's going on, guys? My name is MrHurriicane, and I love the NFL. I can't wait for the NFL draft, and hopefully this stream is working. Otherwise, I'm talking to myself, and no one wants to do that. So, okay, everybody's saying hello. I'm not sure if that's because they're just saying hi or because they see me. The ad's playing right now, so I don't know if I'm exactly live. But leave a comment below, guys. I mean, I'm prepared. I've done my draft study, I have my mock draft done. Check it out on my channel. And if you're watching this on playback, I'm not sure how interested you'll honestly be in this video, because it's going to be a lot of just draft discussion. If you're into that, then maybe you'll like it. But I'm probably not going to be doing a whole lot of exciting stuff gameplay-wise. There's going to be a lot of draft talk and doing things with coins to get more coins, so I can buy some cards and packs once the cards for the new rookies are available. But yes, I am live. I am live. I'm large and in charge. That's how we do it. Bam, hit him with a freeze pop. Have you ever heard of Mr. Shy City? He was pretty big on YouTube a few years ago, and he was funny as hell. But anyway, I do have one coin up card that I think there's a link in the... I'm going to link it on Twitter right now. And this link is basically going to show you, if you have one of these cards, how much it's going to be worth for the coin up. And I have predicted Tavon Austin to go 13 overall. That would net me 230,000 coins. Any higher, we're talking in the $500,000 and up range, basically. But yes, that's going to be a nice little profit there for me. I can't see him falling past 16, so at least 185K I have to be thinking. That'll be available on like Saturday or so. But I would love to get some more, and I may try to get one tonight. The cheapest ones I saw earlier were Desmond Trufant at 70K, and I had him borderline. I never update software, by the way, guys. You'll see it pop up on the screen right now, probably. I never update software. iTunes on my old computer, never do it. My ArcSoft capture software, nope. XSplit, haven't updated in months. I don't update a damn thing, unless it forces me to. Yes, and I have a bunch of cards right on the auction block, trying to flip cards, get some coin. What I did is I bought a ton of playoff packs when the playoffs were actually happening, and what I did then was I held on to all those playoff cards. I didn't really sell too many, so I could sell them later when the market was scarce and I could net a higher profit, because I had no problem being patient. So as I check my auctions here, I went made these all the cheapest cards on the market for each card. I'm still waiting for a lot of them to be sold, but do any of these have bids? Any of these? Okay, no, none of them do. I have a bunch of Robert Mathis stuff there if you guys wanted to go get those cards. I can't imagine you would, but I'm just trying to get coins off people, basically. 38 people watching now. I'm going to like this video. Like it, please, if you have not. I'm going to link it on Facebook quick and get any more late night followers in here. It's a very late stream. I hinted at doing this live stream a little bit earlier, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, and then someone asked me if I was, and I'm like, yeah, why not, for at least an hour. At least an hour is what I want to do. Live now if you want to join. But yes, I'm very excited for the draft. I mean, 3 days. It's now 3 days. It's so crazy. Okay, show comments. Mr. Shy City was cool as hell. Yes, he was. I have a draft guide PDF. It's really awesome. Would you like me to send you the file? No, I actually have a draft guide from draftnasty.com. Corey Chavis, ex-Minnesota Viking, and he does a lot of mock draft and NFL prospect study, and so I bought his draft guide just to see what he has to say, because he goes in depth with a lot more prospects than most pundits will do. If pundits is the right word, most draft guys will do. He goes really in depth into like 20 different quarterbacks, a bunch of receivers, and I like his analysis. So anyway, let's check out the market, guys. Let's see how it's going. Gotta find those elite players. Update on Mackley, please. You're wrong on the Dolphins pick. They won't get Xavier Rhodes because he's a press corner and they run zone coverage. That could be right. How many trades do you think will happen? That's a very good question. There's going to be a lot of prop bets on stuff like this. Like, how many trades? Honestly, I could see someone trading up with Oakland, someone trading up with the Eagles. I could see the Browns trading down. I could see the Cowboys trading down. I predict there's going to be at least 3 or 4 trades in the first round tomorrow, and I hope one is from the Minnesota Vikings, because I would like to get multiple picks. I would like to see Jacksonville trade up to Vikings 25th pick, and the Vikings get the Jaguars second rounder, and maybe even, I don't know, maybe a future pick, like a 2014 second rounder, or their third round as well. I'm not sure what the value would be, but I think for a quarterback, Rick Spielman can play some hardball and get some nice picks. You guys know I love the Gamma Labs, but at midnight, I'm drinking water. I'm drinking water. I want to sleep in an hour. Let's check out the elites, what is available. No team. Oh, crap. Not no team. I want free agent. I want to see what I could flip. And if you look at a lot of these prices on here, these guys don't know anything about the draft, really. I mean, guys have Alec Ogletree going for, like, ridiculous cost. Like, these guys are not going that high. What can I get here, though? Cheapest one is Keenan Allen at $69K. That means to buy it and pull a profit, he would have to be drafted at least 25th to the Vikings. And I don't think the Vikings would take him, personally. I wouldn't want him. Alec Ogletree, $80,000. He would have to at least go 23 to break even. And I do see him going ahead of that, so maybe. Sylvester Williams. Nope. I see him falling to the Vikings, perhaps. Ogletree, see. Oh, man. Is there anything good here? Justin Hunter, I can't see him going to get profit here. You have to go 20 or higher. I'll link this on Twitter, by the way, if you want to see the chart I'm looking at. I'm going to look at your guys' comments in a second. What teams are in the best position with this draft class? I just think, really, the best position are the guys who have a lot of picks. Not necessarily the high picks, but the guys who have the quantity. I'm going to say quantity over quality this year. I think the Vikings having 2/4 is quality, or quality via quantity. Just because the #1 pick does you no good this year. The meat of this draft is in the mid-rounds. There's a ton of #2 receivers, some solid defensive tackle prospects. It does you no good to have a high first. It does you more to have, like the Vikings do, 2 late firsts with versatility to trade down. Or guys with teams with a lot of picks, like the Vikings or the 49ers, that gives them ammunition to trade up to get the quality that is there. That's why I think of teams that, I think if you have the more draft picks this year, I think you're better off than teams who have just like 6, 7 selections but draft high. There's not going to be a lot of difference in the value of players those teams really get. That's right there, Keith. Dolphins have 2 second-rounders, 2 third-rounders. That's quality right there in the draft. Because they may not get elite players there. They'll probably get some good players. Do you like the new Vikings uniforms? Yes. They have a very good retro feel to them with a modern font, and I think it all blends together nicely. It didn't go too over the top or anything. Very nice. Sheldon Richardson. How could I make a profit here? 170. I love Sheldon Richardson. 169K. Oh, man. Falling past 17 would kill me here. I have him going a lot earlier. I may have to pull the trigger on this, but that's all my coins right now, basically. DJ Fluker. Matt Elam. Kenny Vaccaro. I don't see him falling past 16. Do I pull the trigger here? 16 only nets me 185K. Damn it. But, like, who in the hell, really, to get a profit here, who's going to buy Eddie Lacy if he has to go top 11? No. Tavon Austin. I already have one, so I can't even collect another one of him, so I shouldn't even bother. I think I'm going to get a nice profit, though. If he goes to the Bills, that's $550,000, and I'm raking in the dough. Do the Jets find a way to replace Revis, or do you think they have a solid enough secondary? If the value's there, and I don't think it's there in the first round, I think your best bet is D. Milner falling, or you go with Xavier Rhodes to pair up next to Cromartie, and you keep Kyle Wilson in the slot. But I don't think this is not the year I'd bank on them replacing Revis, to be honest. There's injury concerns with Milner. I don't think Milner's elite anyway, and Xavier Rhodes is just a really solid guy. I don't know if I'd take Xavier Rhodes over Stephon Gilmore of last year. It's just like a not elite class, and it's hard to look at a team and say, like, can you replace this elite player with this guy? And most cases, I say this year, no, you can't, unless it's an offensive tackle or defensive tackle. Hurricane. Which teams will most likely trade up in the first round? I think the teams that are most likely to trade up in the first round are the San Francisco 49ers. I think the team that's probably most likely because they have the most ammunition, really, and they don't need 13, 14 rookies. They could go get an impact player at the top of the draft if they're willing to surrender top picks for a guy like Tavon Austin, or they could even trade for Kenny Vaccaro, although I don't think it's worth it because there's decent safeties. I don't see a major drop-off between Vaccaro, Eric Reed, and Matt Elam, so maybe they don't trade up that high. They can also trade up to what about a guy like Starlu Tulele if he were to fall past the 10s? If he gets into that teen range, I would watch over San Fran to trade up and get Stark because they lost Jean Francois and Isaac Sopoaga. How do you feel about AP losing to Barry Sanders? I'm really, honestly surprised. I can't believe the community voted a legend. I really did not think that would happen at all. But, you know, it is what it is. No big deal. More concerned about the Vikings against the Lions in Week 1 this year. Should be fun. By fun, I mean a Vikings victory. But these are all the ones that are going, oh! Okay, no one screw me here! I could bid 81 to 100, and as long as Matt Barkley is drafted, I get 25K. Second round or later is 25K. I'm slapping a bid. Don't screw me, guys. In 46 minutes, I'm going to have Matt Barkley. Oh, man. That's easy profit right there. That's little money, though. That's little. And the rest of these don't really expire for a little while. Vaccaro. Can I pull 230K? Only if he goes 12. Cordarrelle Patterson, or is it Cordero Patterson? That's what everybody calls him. I like the name Cordarrelle. What type of headphones do you have? This is a Turtle Beach PX21. They're good headsets when they work, but I already have problems with this one. I'm gonna take it back soon because I have the 2-year warranty on it. I paid $8 for because I knew this would happen, and this way I can just get another one for free, basically. So Target, I'll be hitting you up for another headset soon. By the way, guys, I want to show you how prepared I am for the draft. By the way, I sold the card. I have 270K now. Still cold down there, Hurricane? Actually, it's warming up. I was out in a shirt and t-shirt to bring trash down to this curb today. I have spreadsheets. This is the MrHurriicane spreadsheet. Let me make this screen bigger for you guys here. Alright, check this out. This is my spreadsheet for the first round. I have my mock draft, I have Mayock's draft, and then I have a spot for the actual picks. And I have a spot here for trades in case, you know, whatever happens. And then this spreadsheet right here I made is simply for every person the Vikings take. I don't have any rounds penciled in or picks because they could easily trade any one of those picks. I did this all last year, and what this allowed me to do was I knew every first rounder by heart after like a couple weeks of this sitting on my desk, and it was just an easy way for me to keep up and just remind myself who was drafted where, who took who in the first round. That's what I do. I'm analytical like that. Oh, I don't want to be this small. What's a good size? That's pretty big. That's pretty good. bet someone's already screwed me on my Barkley. I'll get to your questions in a second, guys. Done. Cooper. Wait, where's the Barkley I wanted? I bought it for 37K. God damn you, Chris. Oh, man. Where will Marquise Goodwin go? Oh, man. I forget his build. I want to see his build again quick. Because I read something that said, like, when I see Marquise Goodwin, I see Mike Wallace. If he's 5'11" at least, maybe I'll bite at that bait. I see 5'10", 180 on the Olympic athlete page. What do you measure in at the combine? He measured in at 5'9", 183. He'll be a mid-round guy. A guy, kind of, I would compare him going this year like last year's Travis Benjamin or T.Y. Hilton. Speed threat in the slot. Not a dominant guy, but could help on special teams and work his way into the receiving rotation. Oh, Chris, you bought one of my cards. Thank you, sir. Oh, thoughts on Jonathan Franklin? Huge UCLA fan here. I'll be honest, I haven't watched really anything on running backs this year. I usually focus on positions that I want the Vikings to draft, and without a really elite running back to look at this year, I haven't really watched much Jonathan Franklin. I've watched some Mike Gillislee because I want the Vikings to draft Gillislee. Because I personally think you don't back up Adrian with power, you back up Adrian with speed, and I want to see them get a third down back that can catch. I think Gillislee could be that guy who could be explosive, he could help on special teams, and I think he'd be a solid player here in Minnesota. Alright. Cheapest card on the market. Still Keenan Allen. Bjorn Werner. I would have him going that high. Sly. Oh, 88K. Can I do this? I'm not confident enough to put 88K on it. One last look. Matt Barkley. Matt Barkley. Did someone bid me up to? I don't know. The Barkley I wanted, I think, is gone. Tennessee draft Warmack or Mingo. I think they personally would want Jonathan Cooper because he's versatile, and I just think he really fits there. Warmack, you know, he could definitely go there as well. I mean, I think Warmack would be the better run blocker, and I think Cooper would be the better pass blocker. But I think they're both going to be really good guards. I like both of them. I watched the combine, and those two guys really stood out. I think Jonathan Cooper may have had one of the best combines, workout-wise, that I saw. I don't care about the drills. I was watching workouts mainly. And Cooper's just sound at everything. He's phenomenal. Oh, look at this. You've been it was canceled! Screw you! Oh. Do you think someone will trade back into the first round to get Barkley? I think it's possible, but I don't know. I think a team will be more than willing to trade down if someone wants to trade up for Barkley. But for that to happen, I see Geno's got to be taken first, you think. And then Barkley, and then maybe Nassib, and then maybe E.J. Manuel. Actually, I can see Philadelphia standing pat and taking E.J. Manuel in the second if the Buffalo Bills don't like him a lot. Or as much as they like Ryan Nassib. I want to do a solo challenge, guys. Who is your favorite overall player in this draft? That's a really good question. Let me know yours in the comment section too, guys. Who is my favorite player in this entire draft class? I really like Jonathan Cooper. I really like Chance Warmack. I like Starlu Tulele quite a bit. I'm going to say my favorite player in this draft may be... Honestly, it may be Sylvester Williams. After watching him play, I just see a perfect replacement for Kevin Williams. I see a guy who's going to be an immediate possible star in the NFL, and I think he's going to be a really good player. And I think he's one of the safest picks, perhaps, in this entire draft. I love Sylvester Williams, and I want to see the Vikings able to snag him. If Teo does go to the Bears or somebody does get Teo ahead of time, I would love to see the Vikings take Sly and Cordarrelle Patterson or trade back. But Sylvester Williams, man, I'm high on this guy, and I really hope he lands with the Vikings. Are you giving draft grades? Probably on the Vikings. I'll probably give my thoughts all day. I mean, I'll be live tweeting this stuff, and I might even live stream after the draft. My friend Justin's going to be over. You guys have seen him before, probably, if you follow me on Twitter and stuff. I'll probably be doing a live stream after the draft. I'll be talking about the whole thing and probably doing this and buying cards and stuff. Ty Powell from Harding. He is going to be a steal in late rounds. I honestly have no idea who that is or anything about him. But, maybe I will after Saturday. Mr. H, how do you see my Bucks doing with the addition of Darrelle Revis? I think I usually frown upon heavy spending in free agency, but I think the Buccaneers have done a pretty efficient job by getting Vincent Jackson, Carl Nicks, and now Darrelle Revis. I know it wasn't a free agent acquisition for Revis, but it was a big trade. I think one of the big things is that they weren't a great team when they acquired those picks, but I think they were a little better than the record indicated, and they had some good young talent that I really liked. So I see them being a good team as long as Josh Freeman can step up. I've seen Freeman play, and I'm not ready to pull a plug on Josh Freeman quite yet if I'm a Tampa Bay fan, because I've seen him play well too many times to give up. And specifically, I've seen Freeman play well against the Vikings twice. Last year, he had a great 300-plus yard game, I believe it was, at the Vikings on Thursday Night Football. And I've seen Josh Freeman play really well. And one of the first times I saw Freeman play well was when the Buccaneers were winless back in 2009, and they knocked off the Packers. And during that game, I was like, why is Josh Freeman always smiling? He's losing. It's like crunch time, but they ended up winning that game. I think Freeman's a good quarterback, but he's not a good quarterback enough to give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess. Do you like DJ Hayden? I honestly haven't seen him much in the field. I love his story and how he had a freak accident at practice. And I guess like one of his arteries or something got detached, and he had a near-death experience, and luckily he survived, and now that's a great story heading into the draft. And I hope he has, I hope based on that story alone, he has a successful career. Don't forget the Bucks got Deshaun Goldson. I always forget that, but thanks for reminding me. I think they've done a pretty good job, and I think they're going to compete as long as Josh Freeman allows them to. I'm going to dink and dunk if Hernandez is going to make that catch, though. When will the Vikings be playing at University of Minnesota Field? Starting in 2014. After this year, this is the last year of the Metrodome. And it's going to be torn down in favor of the Minnesota Football Palace, and then they'll move over to TCF Bank Stadium, a stadium that has about 25,000 or so less seats, and I'm interested to see what they do to winterize it and to give it the NFL experience, because that's a small stadium for an NFL game, and I don't want the 2 or 3 years spent at TCF to be forgettable, especially with the team on the rise right now. A lot of young talent, and Rick Spielman, I think, doing a great job with the roster overall. Alright. Damn, there's so much pressure. I go to Adrian, though. That's what I do. What about Tyrann Mathieu? I'm so back and forth with Tyrann. I know his value. I know his skill set. And I think that he could be a great addition to even a team like my Vikings, but there's still risks. And even today, like I saw on his Instagram, there was that party flyer, and then after there was buzz about it, you know, he kind of backed off and was like, there's going to be no party. And, you know, I think that was all stuff done to cover up probably him actually having a party and stuff like that. But I don't know. I see him as a risk. And where would I draft him? I say 3rd round if he's available. But I think he's going 2nd round to a team that doesn't want to miss out on his potential, his skill set, and then a team that can handle his personality and character. Most overrated player in this draft, I'm going to say Ezekiel Ansah is. And I don't hate the guy by any means. I don't hate his story. I don't hate him. I just don't love him like everybody else. He has less than a year of starting experience, and the hype is solely based on physical measurables and potential, not what we've already seen. And that's due to the draft class partially and media hype, I think. He's going to be drafted high regardless because of his potential, and there being not really... I don't know if there's an elite pass rusher in this draft, because you can poke holes in almost every guy I see. Holes too big enough to consider elite. So, I think he's a bit overrated. Doesn't mean he can't be a good player. He's a boomer bust player in my opinion. He's so raw. I want to see what intangibles he can bring to the game, what his football IQ is, and how well he adapts to the NFL game. But, you know, I don't think he's going to be a terrible player, but I'm not buying the hype right now. Raiders' third pick or trade down. I forget. Do they have a full slate of 7 picks this year? God, come on, Tebow. I wanted to hit Hernandez there, but I didn't trust it. Do they have 7 picks this year? Because actually, they don't have their second, do they? Because of the Carson Palmer trade. I would definitely trade down, especially because you can either take Sharif Floyd or Starlu Talele, or Sheldon Richardson, or trade back and still likely get one of those guys depending on how far you trade back. If you trade back in the first round, just like less than 10 picks, I think you for sure. Worst case scenario is you're taking Sheldon Richardson, or you're going a little high, perhaps, for Sylvester Williams. I think they should definitely trade back. The top 4 defensive tackles are all phenomenal, I think. Come on, Cam Chancellor. Should Lattimore even be drafted? Absolutely he will. Should and will. I see 4th round. I see 4th. That's what the football gods have bestowed upon me, the knowledge, the prediction. John Mack. Am I playing Wiser right now? Jarvis Jones, top draft pick. On tape, this guy is a freak. Don't look at his combine workouts and stuff too heavily. I would look more at the injury stuff as a concern, just because injuries are always a concern when you're talking about a guy who had, what was his injury? Was it a neck, a back? I forget what it was. A vertebrae issue? I can't exactly remember, but I know it was major. And that to me is more of a flag than perhaps the poor 40 at his pro day or whatever. This guy, I've seen him on tape, and he's a menace. He can do it all, I think. He's extremely quick off the edge. I don't care about his 40 time. And actually, I went off on Twitter a little bit about this earlier today, and no one was there to retweet me or talk to me about it, so I didn't really go much in depth. But basically, I said, we put so much hype into the 40-yard dash, and it's not like a bold statement or anything for me to say that, but I was saying basically, like, how many times does a player move 40 yards on a play? Why is 40-yard dash so important? What the 40-yard dash measures basically is, well, obviously, how fast you can cover 40 yards, but to me it measures top speed more than something that actually is important. And to me, quickness is more something you're going to use more often. Now, in the open field, speed can be a big thing, but how often are you going to see Teron Armstead running 40 yards for any important thing ever? Never! He ran a 4.7 at the combine. Big deal. The guy wasn't even top 13 in his shuttle, and he wasn't even top... Okay, I think he was like 13th in his cone drill, and he was like less than 15th in his shuttle. Like, why is the 40-yard dash so hyped? Like, when you're talking about an offensive tackle, you should be measuring quickness. First step is more important than how fast he can cover 40 yards. I mean, Teron Armstead's going to be overdrafted. He may be a good player, a good tackle, but if he's drafted in the 2nd round early because of this 40-yard dash and his vertical and broad jump, that's ridiculous. I mean, it measures explosiveness in the vertical, but look at his cone and shuttle drill if you're going to be all happy with the combine. Look at his quickness there on those drills, and look at the tape. Don't look at a 40-yard dash. That's stupid. Alright, let's take some more points. How many hand gestures did I use in that little rant there? I like to speak with my hands quite a bit. If Vikes miss out on a receiver in first, how about former Baylor Terrence Williams? I'm not a big Terrence Williams fan. I'm just not. I'm not that excited about him. To me, if you want Terrence Williams, why don't you just wait and take Aaron Dobson? I'm not high on Williams. I don't think he's a bad receiver. I think he can do better, even this year. Fisher or Jokel? I honestly didn't bother going in depth watching these guys to differentiate the two. I know both are great. One went to a big school, one went to a smaller school. Not small school, a smaller school in central Michigan. To me, both good tackles. I've seen, come on, Tebow, nice accuracy. I've seen guys say that Fisher has more potential, which makes him the better prospect. But both are fundamentally sound from what I've seen. Seen him work at the combine. Basically, you're talking about two great guys that you can't go wrong with either. Shit, this is a wrong throw. Oh. Why are you using Tim Tebow? Because I forgot to put somebody else on my roster to start, so I'm using Tebow. Oh, man. We got a man open here, Tebow. You find him. There it is, your boy from college, Aaron Hernandez. We're still going to get a first down. This pass rush is just a menace. I should probably be doing max protect from now on this game, although no one's getting open anyway. Should have been the Bucks, yeah. Do you think a UTSA player will get drafted the next couple of years? Oh, a fumble! Oh, I screwed that up, but you know, I wonder. I mean, I don't even know there's highlight tapes out there of UTSA players on YouTube and stuff to really go in depth, but they don't really have seniors yet. You know, the high-profile seniors. I mean, next year, thanks for a holding call, next year we'll have Eric Souza. Maybe we'll see Evans Okacha be drafted. Maybe we'll see Evans Okacha. That'd be awesome to see, actually. But, I don't know. I mean, this will be a big year for that team because they're going to be in Conference USA. And they'll play some pro talent, and there'll be a bigger stage for them to get their name out there. Not necessarily for pro talent, but as a program in general. I think they've done a good job already, dominating weaker schools that are like Division 2A. I mean, like Northwest Oklahoma State. What conference are they in? Have you said Porcupine yet? Nope, not quite. And I've managed to screw this whole drive up. Let's go, Tebow. Look at that Tebow accuracy. No, first down. Don't rob me of that. I want to review it. I'll kick field goal. Look at my guy here. It's Blair. My boy Blair Walsh. 6th round draft pick. Steal of the draft. Boom! Who do you think the Bengals will take in first round? I have them taking Eric Reed. And I just think they could use a safety. I've seen Eddie Lacy, and Eddie Lacy's, I don't see a great, not a supreme running back there. I see a good player, but I think Richardson's a lot better prospect. I'm not high on Lacy. I don't want to see them take a running back there. I think it's the wrong pick. I don't see as much of an upgrade over Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. If you draft him there a split time, I think you're overdrafting by a long shot. So, go safety. There's going to be someone available there, whether it's Elam, Vaccaro falling for some reason, Eric Reed. You could pull a John Cyprian. Steal the draft, definitely Alfred Morris. Yeah, he's definitely could be the steal of it because his impact is. You could argue actually whether his impact was as great as Blair Walsh, because Blair Walsh was a monster this year and won the Vikings 2 games and had like 56 touchbacks. The dude was awesome. I love Blair Walsh. I'm his #1 fan. And guess what? This time next year, we're going to be talking about Blair Walsh being on the cover of Madden, because as soon as he's available, I want him to be available to campaign. I will run the campaign for Blair Walsh. He'll be on the cover. Mark my words. If he's available as a choice, I will run the campaign myself. You think Atlanta trading up is a good idea? No, I do not. Because if they trade up, they're probably doing it for a pass rusher. And I don't think you do it. And draw play. Marshall Faulk can't run on me. What position will Denard Robinson play? I don't know. He might even not have a set position. I could see him just being a role player and playing to the best of his ability. A little bit of halfback, a little bit of receiver. Put him in at a wildcat quarterback, kick returner. He's an exciting role player. I wouldn't mind the Vikings taking him in like the 5th round just to be a role player somewhere. Unless you have somebody that's a lot better on the board, but why not? I mean, he was, I love guys. One of my philosophies kind of is that if you can take, like, Denard was one of the better players for Michigan. He was their obvious captain at quarterback. I think when you can accumulate as many guys like that, you're doing yourself a favor. Taking guys who are used to being leaders and are used to putting in hard work, and you can just basically trust them to do the job you ask them of. And he obviously has talent. I think he was an overrated quarterback, but I think he is a great athlete and a role player. I need to kill the rest of this clock. What am I doing here? Don't fumble, Adrian, or we're going to have a talk after this game. That's right. Ooh. It is a solo challenge or head-to-head? This is a solo challenge. I'm just getting some coins right now. Solo challenges, you know, get you a lot more coins, and the head-to-head games haven't done jack for you ever. Adrian. That's going to kill a good portion of the clock, and we're going to kick a 59 or 58-yarder here with Mr. Blair Walsh. Which round do you see Stedman Bailey going in? I could see him going in the top of the 3rd, bottom 2nd. I like Stedman Bailey quite a bit. Obviously, Tavon Austin gets more hype than him, but Stedman's a very solid receiver in his own right. And if the Vikings want to take him, I'm more than on board. Alright, Blair. Time to do what Blair Walsh does. Too easy. Have we talked about the Bucks yet? Yes, I did quite a bit in the beginning, actually. I don't know why I'm kicking a squib here, but I'm going to do it anyway. There's not a lot to talk about either because they traded away their 1st rounder. You could say they may trade up back into the 1st, which would be intriguing. I wonder what they would actually trade up for, though. Defensive tackle is what I would see the value being there for. A Sheldon Richardson, perhaps, in the middle of the 1st round. If you're up to relinquish a pick like that. Just tackle in the open field. I don't care where he goes. Yes, I do plan on doing a Blitz the League 2 campaign. I don't know exactly when yet. I've talked about it quite a bit. I need to stop talking about stuff so much when I can't back it up and actually produce. I gotta do some wish list stuff soon too. I have a lot of ideas. I don't know why I haven't been doing any videos. Alright, come on, let's end this game. I want my 4K coins, whatever it is. When and where do you think Tyrann Mathieu will land? I could see him going to the Patriots, the Vikings, the 49ers. I could see him going to a lot of teams that are already good. I can't see him going to a bad team. I don't think that's even the right move. I gotta see Tyron go to a winner. And a team with a locker room that can benefit him off the field and on the field. Hurricane will default to the Titans at 10. Very good chance. Especially if the Browns want to trade down and the Lions aren't crazy about him to take him at 5. I could definitely see him falling to 10 and the Titans snatching him up, but I don't think they even think about letting him pass. They make that call and that draft pick after 10 seconds of being on the clock probably. Do you see the Vikings trading up? Not in round 1. Don't do it, Rick. Don't do it, Spielman. I know you're watching this, Spielman. I know you're a big fan of mine. I'm just playing, but no, they're not going to trade up, and they shouldn't. There's no one worth trading up for. Sylvester could fall, Teo could fall there, Cordarrelle Patterson, DeAndre Hopkins. Stand pat and trade back. That's my motto right now. In the first round. Second round, third round, trade up. Get the value, man. Do what you got to do. Not in the first round, though. You get the chance to get 2 solid players there. Do it. Don't mess it up. Don't risk your mid-round picks by trading up for, I don't know, safety. London Fletcher. Nothing else is sold. Let's check the auction block one more time. How long have I already been streaming? Damn, like 42 minutes already? Oops, wrong way. I need free agents. I'm headed off, man. Good night. Good night to you, Chris. Get your rest. Be ready for the draft tomorrow. Your Falcons pick late. Let's see what's expiring soon. Barkley, nothing worth buying. Dayton Jones. I'm not even confident enough to put him in first round. Menelik Watson. I need like a slam dunk right here. I need a steal. Justin Hunter. I need to see something here that can help me out. Give me like a 200,000 coin Luke Jokel or something. Throw me a bone. Sheldon. Oh, I definitely see him going high enough to make a profit off this. But do I pull the trigger now or wait until the morning for more choices? Because I know I'm going to get a nice profit off Tavon Austin. I'm going to get some nice coins there. I'm coming away with at least 200k, I think. And I could buy this now, still have 100k. I'm pretty confident I could at least get a profit. But the profit I think I get for Sheldon is only going to be like 80,000. So I think I hold off for now. Where do you see DJ Fluker being drafted? In my mock draft, I have him going to the Chargers at number 11 overall. I think he's going to be a right tackle or a guard, and he's going to plow running lanes. And if he does that well, he'll have a job for many years. Cordarrelle Patterson. Chance Warmack. $2.99. How do I pull a profit on a Chance Warmack? Oh my god. All I gotta do is get him to go top 10. Oh, but he's a guard. That's the risky part there. I could sell stuff right now. I could quick sell to get the needed 10k to buy him, but I don't know how confident I am. Jonathan Cooper. Oh, MrHurriicane's getting tired. Luke Jokel. Who wants to get a 5,000 profit potentially? Deion Jordan, Geno Smith, Star Lutulele. Oh yeah, Steez. Oh, I'm good. you think the Patriots try to pick up a good quarterback prospect? No. No. Because they only have 5 picks. They only have 5 picks, so don't waste one on a quarterback this year. Dayton Jones. Could Keenan Allen go #1 overall? I could. I'm kidding. Sly. Sylvester. I mean, it's just. Oh, my confidence is not there. Not strong enough, anyway. Oh my god. Wanna know what I'm gonna do when I lay down? Besides sleep? I'm gonna play my Wii U. New Super Mario Brothers on this beast right here. Off TV play. I have a Wii U, by the way. You can check out my Lego City Undercover Let's Play. That game is pretty awesome too, and everybody over there seems to be really enjoying this game right here. Lego City Undercover. Link in the description if you want to watch some more content tonight. And don't be prejudgmental and go to the game saying, oh, it's going to be childish, because it has some childish things, but it's a really good game. It's a really good quality game to play. And if you like Let's Plays, you might want to check it out. And my Let's Play channel overall. Follow me on Twitter as well. That's cool. Alright. We'll take Mike Glennon. I could see the Jets taking him. I could see... Well, not the Jets, actually. He's not a sure enough bet. I could see a team like the Cardinals taking him, honestly. You know, sit behind Palmer for a year or two. And then unleash the Hounds. So what do I get for bids? Sorry about yawning, guys. I'm kind of tired. Need my sleep for the draft tomorrow. Must say, I like Lego City. Haha, extremely funny. It's a lot of fun. It is really cool. Hurricane, thoughts on Buffalo Wild Wings and draft? And really thoughts on Jonathan Franklin? I'm sorry, I don't know much about Jonathan Franklin to really give you an opinion. If I do, it's going to be really uninformed. But Buffalo Wild Wings? I already plan on buying wings tomorrow. It's Boneless Thursdays. Let me pull this out here. What's enough wings for 2 people? Like 20 wings? That's 10 each? 60 cents? We're talking $12 for 20 wings for 2 people. I'm getting Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow. Takeout right for the draft. Getting that. Me and Justin will split that and probably find something else to split as well. Boneless honey barbecue wings, the MrHurriicane special. Dip those suckers in the honey barbecue dipping sauce. The same sauce already covered in. Dip them in the same thing. Whew! Out of this world. Unbelievable. What the hell? My phone just reset. Can you believe that? Hey, Hurricane, I'm in the same time zone. What time is the draft? I believe it's 7 o'clock Central. I think it starts at the top of the hour. Let me just check here for sure. NFL.com/draft. And it starts 8 p.m. Eastern Time. On Friday, it's 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. On Saturday, it'll be noon Eastern Time for rounds 4 through 7. Hurricane, can you watch the draft on NFL.com because I have no TV? I believe you can. I believe they'll stream it right on NFL.com. Yes. Hurricane, what are you doing for draft? I'll be live tweeting with my friend Justin, and then I'm probably going to be doing a live stream after the first round to scream about how I'm so happy the Vikings drafted Sylvester Williams and Cordell Patterson, or Manti Te'o, and I'll talk about who's going to be the big reach tomorrow. There's going to be a big freaking reach, okay? Someone's got to reach. Who's it going to be this year, though? Oh, Any chances ESPN learns to get rid of those stupid shots of the prospects getting a phone call spoiling the pick, you think? No. If you can, I never watch ESPN. I never ever watch ESPN. I watch NFL Network. I'm not a sports guy as much as I am a football guy, so I watch NFL Network. And I'm a big fan of Mike Mayock and his analytical mindset, so I like watching their content quite a bit. And I watched them for the draft last year. Watch NFL Network if you can. Mike Mayock knows what he's talking about. He's a very smart football mind. And he may not be right all the time, but I think that he's very smart and knows the game of football very well. And I'll take his word over really anybody else's. I'll play one more game. I want to make it a fast one, though. Ryan Nass will be a big reach. That's very possible. What kind of PVR are you using? I'm using the older model. I know the PVR 2 is out, and that's what I'll probably end up getting if my HD PVR ever fries or something goes wrong with it. I've heard too many problems with the Elgato. Too many guys with just like, oh, my capture failed, my file's corrupt, the capture freaking crashed. Well, that doesn't happen to me with the HD PVR, so I'm not switching software. Someone already asked, who is your favorite prospect in this class? I've answered this already. Sylvester Williams is my favorite because I think he's like a great replacement for Kevin Williams. His last name is Williams. You can rebuild the Williams wall. And I think he's just going to be a star. I think he's going to be a great defensive tackle, and I want Minnesota to get him. One more game, guys, as we reminisce about the NFL Draft. I have my mock side by side compared with Mike Mayock. We only have 4 picks that are the same. We both have Sylvester Williams going to the Vikings, but I have him at 23 and he has him going there at 25. If they can get Sly and Cordarrelle, I'm more than happy. If they get Sly and a bag of Doritos potato chips, Cool Ranch, I'm more than happy. Oh, Tramon Williams. Should Vikes take another safety to complement Harrison 22? I see a lot of guys saying that, but I say no, because I like Jamarcus Sanford, at least for this year. I think that you survive with Sanford, and I think that you see what you got with a guy like Robert Blanton as well. I think you stand pat at safety for now. Rich Eisen's an entertaining guy, too. I like him a lot. Who's your favorite receiver in this class? Oh, man. Who is my favorite? I have a couple options. I'll say the most complete and safest receiver pick, I think, is DeAndre Hopkins from Clemson. I think my favorite prospect, based on potential, has got to be Cordarrelle, whatever you want to call him, Patterson. The guy, he's a unique receiver. He's 6'2", and the guy has incredible elusiveness, and I think that if he goes to the right team and they mold him correctly, he could be an extremely dangerous playmaker deep down the field. And his skill set has the potential to be incredibly entertaining. And I think with a team like the Vikings, it could work. Learning from Greg Jennings, being not even the top option of that offense. You still got Rudolph, Jennings, Jarius Wright. You could have Cordarrelle Patterson, Adrian Peterson. God, the possibilities there. If he's a solid player and he can just stretch the field and make some catches better than Troy Williamson, man, we could be in for some fun here in Minnesota. Most underrated player in this year's draft to you? I don't know if I call this guy the most underrated player, but I think one of the most underrated players is Stedman Bailey, because I think he gets overshadowed because of his teammate Tavon Austin. Whoops, that should have been picked. But when I see this guy on film, I see a very solid receiver, and I think that he's going to be a good player. And I like him. I don't even have a receiver going to the first down marker, but I still get it. Oh, Goodwin in the second. No. Goodwin, no, not in the second. Especially, guys, the Vikings have this guy, his name is Jarius Wright. He was drafted last year to be Percy Harvin's backup. And he played 9 games, and he played well in 9 games. You don't replace Jarius Wright. I'm rolling out. I'm going to get this with Tebow. Have you tried Buffalo Wild Wings jalapeno poppers? They are so good. I think I have. Yeah, I have. They're okay. They were alright. There we go, Roddy. Do you think Joel will succeed at receiver? I honestly don't think he really will. I've seen him run, and I don't see a guy... I just don't think he's going to be a good NFL receiver, really. I like to see him with the shot, but when I see him run, I don't really see a receiver. I see a guy who has a skill set to be a receiver, really, but I don't know. I wouldn't put a lot of stock into it. Sources are saying Jonathan Franklin is skying up the draft boards. I could believe it because I think he projects to be a solid, could be a decent starter. But I still say the range you're looking at for any running back is going to be late second. Or the Packers taking Eddie Lacy would not be a bad pick. I wouldn't even criticize that. How many receivers do you see the Vikings taking in this draft? Well, let's assess the roster they already have. They have, I don't even play the game, Greg Jennings, Jarius Wright, Jerome Simpson. Stephen Burton's a bubble player. He could be easily cut. Is that 3? Jerome, Greg, Jarius. And then there's Greg Childs. Ooh, I got a pick to take back here. I see them drafting at least 2 or 3. I see 2, probably. Actually, I could see 3. The 3rd being in the 7th round as a complete, you know, just let's see what this guy can do. Potential pick. Too easy. Do you think Atlanta drafts Tony G's replacement in the late rounds? I like Tyler Eifert in the early rounds. I could also see Philip Lutzenkirchen late in the draft from Auburn. There was a report saying that multiple teams have moved Franklin ahead of Lacy on their draft boards. Interesting. And no one's been talking about Giovanni Bernard for the past week, really. He's a guy who I thought for a while was going to be overhyped, and now he's been very, what's the right word to say? Nobody's talking about him. Should the Bears keep 20 or move down? It depends on who's there. I think in my mock I am settling for Menelik Watson. I think personally, if you settle for Menelik Watson, who's not even a sure thing, I think you maybe are better off trading down if possible. Or Manti Te'o. I'm hoping he goes to Bengals. I don't care what pick they use, 1st or 2 seconds. Yeah, if you want a running back that bad. And it wouldn't necessarily be a starter, too. It'd be a guy to split time with Ben Jarvis. So that's why I think you would wait till a 2nd. And plus, you can get Franklin in a 2nd, I think, pretty safely. How long will the first round take? I put 2 hours, 33 minutes. I don't know how long the first round usually takes. Nice catch, Reggie. Well, let me take a look here. Each team gets 10 minutes. Let's see, each team uses about 8. 32 times 8 divided by 60. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that right? 32 times 8 Divided by 60. We could see a 4-hour first round. Damn. Where will win be selected? Hope you know what I'm talking about. I think I might know. I don't know. I'll be honest. Someone tackle this guy! Will a female kicker get drafted? I have a more likely chance to get drafted as a general manager assistant in the 7th round than she has of getting drafted in any NFL draft. Hey, if the Vikings want to get me to be an amateur scout, I'm down. Not that I really have a drafting resume of any sort. I mean, I did say I want the Vikings to take Adrian Peterson, Percy Harvin, and Matt Khalil. I'm 3 for 3. Last year, I said I wanted Matt Khalil, Harrison Smith, and I wanted Josh Robinson. And boom, all 3 guys went to Minnesota. Rest of the draft, I didn't predict anything. Not a one of the picks. Punter out of LSU. Yes, Brad Wing. Oh, I think... Oh... No, it's Brad Wing. Yeah, you said win, and that's why I was confused. It's Brad Wing. And I think the Vikings are going to take him, honestly. I think they want to move on from Chris Cluey. I think they want to get Brad Wing. And I've seen, as soon as I saw Wing play last year, or the year before in 2011 against Alabama, I'm like, this guy's going to be in the NFL. And I think Brad Wing is going to go in the NFL, and I think the Vikings are going to take him. What's the name of that quarterback that played for USC? Matt Barkley. If Keenan Allen ran a faster 40, would he have been the #1 rated outside wide receiver? I could see that. This is where a 40-yard dash may come in actual handy because you can kind of use it to measure how far back he is from injury. Doesn't mean he has actual 4.7 speed and he's slow and he runs in quicksand all day. It just means that maybe he's not fully healed. No, you're not going to get past me, Marshall Falk! Anybody see the Jaguars 2-people draft war room? I did see that. Everybody else has, like, long tables. Looks like they're sitting at the Last Supper. And there's just people everywhere. And the Jaguars is like me and a friend sitting next to each other on one laptop like, hey, look at this highlight tape of Manti Te'o. Should we take him? It's just such a joke. Although I'm assuming that they were just like, 2 guys were in there, and then there's a bunch of guys who were just away, but it's still a funny-ass picture. What's the matter, Andrew Luck? This ain't Stanford. That's Von Miller. He went to Texas A&M. Okay, so if the Vikings trade up, who is their trade partner? In the first round, I'll give you nothing there because I don't think they do it. I can't really... I don't really know who I want them to trade up with. I know who I want them to trade back with, and that's going to be the Jaguars or the Eagles or a team looking for a quarterback at 25 overall. I would love to see them trade into the top of the second and still get a great player. If Spielman drafts Sylvester Williams, trades top 2, and they can still get Cordell Patterson, GM of the year. That would be amazing. Just like this throw. Tim Tebow, Andre Johnson, touchdown. Well, this game's out of hand. It's 21-0. I'm gonna start playing Mario instead on the Wii U. Nintendo. I'm going to start playing Mario instead. I like Robert Woods a lot. I see a guy who can be used as a slot. I think slot hybrid is the term I've seen thrown around by the Vikings fan page guy who's, I think he's a pretty good football mind. And I think Woods can line up anywhere at receiver. And I think he can be an intermediate #2. I think he can be a good receiver, though. Oh, I have Lego City in my Wii U right now. I'm going to put in Mario. This game is over. 21-0. I don't even need to play it. Especially if they want to do that. Best part is, I don't even need my TV to play my Wii U on this game. Maybe I should change the stream to Wii U. That's for my Let's Play channel, though. Are you going to live stream yourself just sitting there playing on the Wii U? Not really. Partially, kind of. I'm more just getting it ready for when I sleep. I'm going to start the game up. But this game's pretty much over. So I was just like, yeah, I'll get the Wii U going. But yeah, I mean, I love this tablet controller. Pretty good graphics on the screen. Did it change yet? I love this thing. It's a lot of fun. Plus, I'm really into the retro games. I can get into a Super Mario game 7 days a week. Oh, pick that, son. Can Greg Childs make an impact with Minnesota? I hope he can. His injury is so rare, and I hate to see that injury the way it's gone down for him. It really sucks. But I like Greg Childs' skill set. I want to see him come back healthy. I want to see him have a shot. And I hope that he can have a chance to play in the NFL without having to deal with an injury. I want to see his play dictate where he goes, not an injury. Why am I passing still? Oh, because I can do that. Did I get picked off almost? Not quite. I thought Childs got released. That was back in the training camp. He got released and re-signed to the practice squad. And he's with the Vikings right now. Run that clock, Narwhals. Marcus Lattimore. I like Lattimore quite a bit. And I think it's a team that needs a running back. Like the Steelers. I think in the 4th or 5th round, you pull the trigger and you take a shot on Lattimore. Without a doubt. I'm not going to predict Mr. Irrelevant. Although, I think it's the Colts picking last again. So we could say... we can narrow it down to a position and find a really obscure small school guy with a good story or something. Because of compensatory picks too, the Falcons have 4 7th rounders. Hurricane, do you know if the Dolphins made a trade for Albert from the Chiefs? Nothing that I've seen yet, but I think that there's a good chance of it happening. Especially if they can get a 2nd round pick. I mean, they lost theirs obviously in the Alex Smith trade. So maybe they go with Luke Jokel and then they just... who else do they have in their roster besides Brandon Albert? Because they don't have Eric Winston anymore. I don't know, but I think he's going to get traded. I could definitely see it happening. If it's not Miami, I'm not sure if there would be a suitor. Oh, damn, I just noticed Revis was traded. When the hell was he traded? Over the weekend he was to the Buccaneers for a 1st and a 4th conditional. I could turn into a 3rd if Revis is cut or whatever. Or it's a 4th if Revis is cut, a 3rd if he's on the roster, like after like 3rd day of the year or something. Oh, I was going to get a fine right there. Missed him, though. This is my big Game Boy. This is what the... So you can play on the TV, or you can just use your gamepad here like a Game Boy. On some games. On some games. Mario, Super Mario Bros. Is one of those games, the new one. And it looks pretty sweet on here. Do you see Amendola being a good replacement for Welker? I don't see him being as good as Welker was, but I think he's a really good player as long as he stays healthy. I like Amendola quite a bit. And you can see him come on strong in the Raiders CCM. If you haven't seen the last episode yet, I'm not going to spoil it for you. But if you haven't watched it, you need to get on that. If you add me during this live stream, then I will get blazing at Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow. I don't really play with a lot of people because most of the stuff I do is by myself. I don't live stream as much as I would like to. I really don't play with people a lot. If I do, it's usually in my streams. So sorry. I get a lot of friend requests. Hate shooting you guys down. Paul Allen says the Vikings will go 12-4 with a successful draft. Thoughts? I think 12-4 is a bit of a stretch. I mean, 12-4 was the Vikings with Favre. I think with a good draft, the Vikings can go 11-5. I think 10-6. They were very fortunate to go 10-6. And I think going 10-6 this year, I mean, don't look at it as a worse season by any stretch of the imagination. As long as you go to the playoffs this year, it's a success. Because last year was very rare. To win those last 4 games and to have everything fall the way it did for the Vikings, it was a magical season, and it was awesome. I loved every second of it. I'm going to go. Red body white. Oh, my God. And there's a guy with long hair. That's number 84 that I want to see drafted perhaps to the purple tomorrow. And Cordero Patterson. Alright, guys. I call this play the Tebow special. We're going to take the snap, roll out really wide, and then take off with Tim Tebow. 3 yards. Here comes the comeback. No. That's not happening. I'll give him a shot, too. I'll throw this deep to Andre Johnson. If you can cover it, you can have the pick. If you can cover it, you can have the pick. If you can cover it, you can have the pick. You can't cover it, I get the touchdown. What is your take on the new NFL rule change that players can't use the crown of their helmets? I don't like it, but I understand it. But it's just a thing that it's so reactionary to just lower your head like that. If the players didn't wear helmets, then it wouldn't be a reaction as much, I think. But hopefully it doesn't ruin... It's not going to ruin the game, but hopefully it doesn't just be bad. What do you guys think of the new Vikings jerseys? If you haven't seen them yet, check them out on Twitter. Someone's got to have them there. Just search for the new Vikings jerseys. But I've seen them. They're awesome. They're great. I was worried that they were going to make the design kind of boring. But I love the retro look they did. I think they did a great job with the font. And I think that it's going to be nice to watch that team win in those new jerseys. Thoughts on Pat Williams retiring as a Viking? One of my favorite all-time Vikings. I love Pat Williams, and I would love to see him play here for another year or two, even. But you know, that's life in the NFL. I'm glad to see Pat Williams go out as a Viking. He's gonna be at the Vikings draft party, and yeah, I'm happy for the guy. Does Welker have another 100+ receiving year, being a third option in Denver? I say no, simply because of Decker. Oh! Simply because of Decker, Demaryius Thomas, Jacob Tamme. I mean, Peyton Manning's not going to just focus on getting him the football. Yes, he had Marvin Harrison, who he gave the ball to like 300 times a season. But they have plenty of options to spread around, and he's not going to be the first option. He's just not going to be. And Denver relies on the run more than New England. So I see definitely maybe a 70-80 catch season that we're going to expect from Welker from here on out, because he's no longer a 100 catch guy in my opinion in Denver. One of the first things you learn in football is keep your head up. Rules fine. That's definitely true. You always want to keep your head up when you're making a tackle, when you're making contact with somebody. You don't want to lower your head. You don't want to do that. It's a golden rule. But the thing is, it happens. It happens quite often, actually. And until you get that out of players' heads, it's going to probably be an issue. The only reason why the Vikings went to the Super Bowl only to be stomped because of Adrian Peterson and only him winning, they didn't go to the Super Bowl. You mean playoffs? I do think Adrian was the main reason why, but he wasn't the only reason why. If Ponder has a bad game in that last 4 stretch, the Vikings don't go to the playoffs. Simple as that. He's just not gonna. The Vikings don't go if Ponder can't play well or play decent. What AP is that? I think it's the 2.0 collection. I don't like the 99 Super Edition one because it's just ridiculous. All this ratings like 99. I don't like that stuff. Ponder, great D, great special teams. It was an all-around effort. Yes, just Peterson stood out and was the best player on the football team. He was the MVP. But the team around him, the defense, everybody played well. Everybody did their job correctly. Don't just give it to Adrian. Don't ignore everything else that happened. Alright. I'll check out one more time. What do we got? Same old stuff. Alec Ogletree, Dayton Jones. What can I afford at the higher end? What's the cheapest Warmack? That's got to be it. $2.99. The Packers didn't want the Bears in the playoffs, so they purposely lost because they knew they would get stomped by the Bears, not the Vikings, because they have more offensive and defensive. Then why did they bother scoring 31 points? For fun? Teams don't purposely lose like that. And plus, it's not like they lost the game. The Vikings beat them. The Vikings made enough plays to beat them. Adrian Peterson, Christian Ponder, Blair Walsh. The Packers, it's not like Rodgers threw a pick 6 to end the game. The Vikings beat them. Geno Smith for $2 million. Seems stupid. Ooh, Lane Johnson. I can't afford these cards anyway. $250,000 for Eifert. You have to go top 11. Or there's this Eifert. What's the cheapest? Sheldon Richardson. I think there's a really cheap one. $169. I don't see anything I'm really confident in putting money on tonight, any of my coins. Hurricane, where did you get your blank spreadsheet at? I actually made it myself on Excel. I made both of these myself. They're just really simple. If you go into Microsoft Excel, and if you just format the cells and you edit the column widths and everything, you can easily make this yourself in just a couple of minutes. I just have minor experience with Excel. It's pretty easy if you have it. Then I just make sure you change your orientation to landscape as well, otherwise you're going to have it like this, and then you're going to have your columns going like that. You want to change it to landscape. Your Keelan and Fletcher is worth a lot. I don't want to part with it right now. Unless it's worth a lot. Like a lot. Let's see. Middle linebacker, Redskins. He's a key card, and this one doesn't have a cover for me. This one might be the key card. No, it's a team collection reward. Well, if he's this much, maybe I would part ways with it. Oh, wow! Man, London's my guy, but I don't need a key card that bad. Put it up for 180k and watch her fly, hopefully. That's why you guys, I like you guys. You guys always have my back. Appreciate it. How many? Oh, I only have one. I'm gonna add a contract card. Do it first. In case someone wanted to play with it or something. Thanks for the heads up there, by the way. I'll go 185. I'll start the bidding at 150. Is it a possibility that a team gets Tavon Austin in the first, then trades back into the late first to get Geno, then get Bailey in the early third? Damn. What if that happened? That's an awesome comment, man. You wouldn't comment on the night because you just made me think. Take Tavon. I'm looking at the Bills here, or the Jets. Bills take Tavon, trade up to get Geno Smith, and then take Stedman Bailey later. That would be pretty sick. I almost want to see that happen now. I think Lane Johnson is the best quarterback in this year's draft. He's a tackle who was once a defensive end, who was once a tight end, who was once a quarterback, who was once a junior college player, I think. And now he's a stud tackle. Everything he touches turns to gold, I guess. God, that is awesome. Tavon, Geno, and Stedman Bailey. You got me thinking, man. Congratulations to you. Damn. And they can get Pat White to be his backup. They can go get Steve Slayton. We can go all in here. We can get all West Virginia players. I'm down. Yeah, the Jets could do it without trading too. Tavon, Geno, and then just, hey, later, Stedman Bailey. Why not? You got 89 faithful fans here at 1:16 in the morning. Why am I even on right now? Oh, it's fun though. Sorry I haven't been streaming much lately. I always have fun streaming. I don't know why I procrastinate it and put it off. Like, I always have a good time. It's like, why would you put something off you always enjoy? Oh. So who do you think is the best player coming out next year not named Clowney? Man, next year is way too far away. I can't even begin to think about that. I'll say Jadeveon Clowney is my favorite player right now, but until like 8 months from now, I can't give you nothing. I can't give you anything. I gotta get rested up soon for the draft. A big day tomorrow, even though I'm not doing anything important draft-wise. I'm just watching it and giving my analysis. That's what I do, though. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming. Fun little draft, pre-draft. I want to do this for you guys. And I'm going to log off now. I'm going to go to bed. I think I'm actually going to sleep really well because I'm tired for once. And if you are still up to watching more content, I posted my mock draft today, and that's a 22-minute video. In the description below, check out my Let's Play channel. You can go there and see my Lego City Undercover Let's Play I have going on right now, which a lot of people are really enjoying right now. And the likes are awesome over there. Not very many people are disliking it, I see. And there's a lot of positive feedback, so you can check that out. It's really entertaining, I think. I enjoy making those videos. And follow me on Twitter if you don't, because tomorrow, live tweeting the hell out of the NFL Draft. I want to see the Vikings take. Make me happy and go Sylvester Williams and Cordarrelle Patterson. I think that's the two guys I want right now. I think I'm going to let Manti Te'o go for now. Maybe he goes to Chicago. Sylvester and Cordarrelle Patterson. Make it happen, Rick Spielman. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.